welcome to another episode of Critical Affection, where we affectionately criticize pop culture that we love. And today we're joined again by Matt and Steph from InSymmetry Creations.
We're kind of regulars on the show at this point.
Yeah, you've definitely been the most frequent guests.
We are irregularly regular. Well, that's cool.
I like that. I like that distinction.
Absolutely. Yeah, so we're going to talk about Jaws, because obviously we're going to talk about Jaws. We had to do it at least once this year,
Pretty
being
clear.
the anniversary, not just any anniversary, a big milestone anniversary. And we're going to talk about...
here knows about that.
I don't know.
That one?
So, speaking of fans, Steph, you did some last minute really fun stuff over the weekend, and I think that you should tell us all that you can tell us about that.
It was pretty incredible. So everyone that knows me knows I'm a Jaws super fan, and I got the incredible opportunity to go to San Diego Comic-Con, biggest comic convention in the world, arguably, and sit on the Jaws 50th anniversary panel that they had on Friday night. It was amazing. It was incredible. I was like, well, because it was going to be me and a bunch of other wonderful, amazing, talented actors and writers, but there was not going to be anybody like major from like the cast and crew, sadly, because a lot of them are maybe they're not able to travel, or they're just not with us anymore. But so I thought, okay, it'll be well attended. It was after it was later in the night. It was after the show floor had closed or whatever. And I walked up and I took a bit. I'm like, oh my God, there's like a lot of people here. There was over 1,000 people in attendance for that panel. It was insane. It was one of the most amazing experiences that I've ever had. This is my shirt. Okay, so panel moderator was Mark Atkinson. Incredible Jaws fan. He actually went to Martha's Vineyard, which is where Jaws was filmed. That's Amity Island. And they did a huge celebration over the anniversary, which was like late June. And so he was able to go and like take a lot of videos. And I was so jealous because I wanted to go really bad. But anyway, so he made these shirts for us, for the panelists. And it was one of the craziest experiences I've ever had. I did not know that many people, I mean, Matt and I have been on many panels talking about comic writing and whatever else. That was something entirely different where, normally we come out on stage and we're already sitting there at the table and we introduce ourselves, but we were announced out and people were wanting, it was a crazy whirlwind day because I'm in Central California and this was in San Diego. So I flew there and back the same day because I had to work my day job the next day. And it was crazy. It was a whirlwind, but it was like the panel ended at 8:15 and I needed to be on a plane at 10. So I was stressing just a little teeny tiny bit, but it worked out fine. I got home. Everything was fine.
One of the cool things about the panel too, tell them about the fact that you were on the panel with the guy that literally holds the world record for the most Jaws paraphernalia in his collection. His name is Chris Kiska. That's freaking crazy.
Not you?
No. I wish it was. If I had a big enough place. Well, I mean, he was great. He was so fun. And what was crazy about that was, okay, so the motion picture Academy that's in LA, they're doing an exhibition for the Jaws 50th anniversary. And it's going to run from, I think, September of this year until March of next year. It's going to be 6 months. I'm going to go. Obviously, I'm going to go. I don't know when, but I will find a time to go. And he actually loaned 200 pieces of stuff that he has from the movie for this exhibition. I mean, he owns some of the barrels that you see in the movie. We can get into that later. I don't want to go on and on about it, but it was crazy.
No, I want to hear about the kind of stuff that he actually has. That to me is fascinating. What are the things that he said that he actually
and what was cool too is that, I mean, in San Diego Comic-Con, for those who have not been, it's imagine the busiest place you've ever been and then times it by 10.
Mm-hmm.
It's super busy. I'm little. I was getting like pushed around. Like it's just, I'm stepped on. Like it's not like a leisurely stroll. You have to plan. You have to be very vigilant. It's crazy, but it is worth it. So, yeah. So I walked the show floor. I met up with like friends, like industry friends, for most of the day. And
one of which was Ed Davis.
Yeah. Ed's been on the show too.
In person. I went to his panel. I hit in his panel because San Diego Comic-Con is not just at the convention center. It's a whole block. They block it all off. It's like a street party. It's insane. Like if you can go because it's incredible. So I had to walk to the hotel that their panel was at because I really wanted, and other friends were there too, David Lucarelli and Madeline Holly Rosine. So it was nice because I needed the break because the crowds were insane. So I'm like, this is like a chance but it was at a hotel across the street and the road closures are all crazy. So it's like a 15-minute walk. So I saw it and it was great. But it was an incredible experience, and I'm very, very honored and blessed to have been a part of it. So just for being a dork. See what happens when you're a dork?
Yeah, it sounds like it was really great. And I've not been to San Diego. I've been to Dragon Con, which I imagine is somewhat similar. I mean, it sounds like it's similar.
We haven't
Dragon Con's one of the top 5 as far as size in the country as well.
Yeah, the huge crowds and the just sardine can, like, and getting to, like, forget about getting a room in the actual hotel, at which, like the main hotel, that's not happening. And it was an experience. But yeah, it sounds like San Diego is similar in its insanity.
But it's so fun. It's worth it to experience. So
yeah. And you said so are we going to be able to see a recording of your panel at some point?
So the con guys recorded it. They're the ones that were like kind of sponsored the panel. They recorded it. They said within the month. So it might be like a few weeks. Because they did a lot at San Diego Comic-Con. So they're very, very busy editing videos. So it wasn't live streamed per se, but it was recorded. I did kind of like backstage. I like recorded like the announcement because I've never had the opportunity to be announced and like walk up on stage and like wave to people. It was crazy. But yeah, there will be a full recording of it that'll be, and Matt and I will be posting
sharing that out. And I would think when he says within the month, he probably means within a month, since we only have a couple days left in this month.
Yeah,
I would expect it within a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Hopefully, by the time we go to GeekCon, it's already going to be out. We're going to be at GeekCon in Shreveport, Louisiana, at the end of the month, end of August. So
this was a very, very well attended panel. It was crazy. So,
yeah, it sounds like. I'm torn because I'm like, yes, I absolutely want to experience all that, but then I'm also like, it's exhausting just thinking about it.
I had to take
exhausting. You have to get the ticket raffle. It's
I mean, Matt will tell you I had to call him a couple times and be like,
it was a Friday. It was Friday, and I was here doing the typical stuff that we normally do, but basically became remote support for Steph, just because she was like, I can't even pick up my phone walking down the aisle to look for the map. She's like, show me where this place was. Like, I felt like I was on like one of the TV shows where they're like, okay, go up here, go to the air vent here, and you can climb to the air vent.
And go this way. In those situations, so I didn't even have to explain. I just called him. I was like, listen, I can't anymore.
Yeah. But he's like, Charlie Stickney, where's his booth at? I'm like, you go, okay, go here. I need to look for the comics. I go over here and over here. And that was
like explain. He knows that he needs to help me, and so it
was fun. It was cool. It was cool.
It works. Yeah. It works. It's nice to have remote support like that too. Like
I
need to definitely like pre-plan that for whenever I make it to a big con in the future, because that would have been handy in Dragon Con. What's that?
Have your little support person, and that's at the end of the day.
My services can be hired out for a fee. So
yeah, I went and I had dinner, and then there was like a little patio, I don't know, you could go outside. It was probably like where people could go and smoke, but honestly, no one was out there smoking at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was outside in San Diego, and San Diego is beautiful year round. It's like, I mean, you can't. It's gorgeous. It's 70 degrees all year round, and so there was a nice breeze, and I was looking out at like the ocean and like the boats and everything, and it really like grounded me. So that's a definite plus for.
That sounds, it sounds wild. It sounds fun. It sounds exhausting. It sounds anxiety inducing, like a good con should sound.
Yeah. I mean,
we should definitely do a critical affection from Comic-Con next year.
Yeah. If that's our unofficial plans. We're all going to get together at one con, maybe in the spring or fall. Like, it's got to be a big one, make it worth it. You know how it is. You guys know.
All of us
you
get around one mic.
Yeah, you guys do a couple cons every year, don't you? Like get together for a couple of cons every year.
Oh,
3, 4.
We've got 3 in the next 3 in the next 3 months. We'll be out together. We just did one 2 weeks ago. So
yeah. I remember seeing pictures. I remember seeing pictures of Steph standing between 2 tables that were extremely close together.
That was
Tallahassee.
Yes. So Brian, I don't know if you saw these pictures, but we were in Tallahassee and at Infinity Con, and there were 2 tables that literally probably had this much room. This much room between the tables. So
right,
probably if you took a CD case and you laid it sideways like this, and Steph was like, I wonder if I can fit through these things. So she literally just walked up to him and she skirted right between them without incident, without even having to hold her breath or try or any of that kind of stuff. And so we had already been joking with Sarah about how minuscule Steph was at that point. And so we went back and we did a series of pictures where Steph was picture 1, standing outside. Picture 2, I'm in between the tables. Picture 3, ta-da!
Well, it was funny because
I never would have known any different about your size until you were like, I shop in the kids section. And I was like,
well, I think they don't really, because Matt is 6'3", okay, and I'm 5'2". So when we stand next to each other, there's an obvious discrepancy there, but you don't realize it. A lot of people are they say the same thing to both of us. People see him in real life and they're like, oh, I didn't realize you were so tall. Especially when he has his
top hat with my shoes that I wear to a show and my top hat, it's probably at about 6'8" at the top.
And then people will tell me oh, I didn't realize you were so short. I'm like, yeah.
Well, that's because they're not used to a full-grown adult human being walking around at the size you are. I mean, it's just not normal. It's not normal. It's freak of nature. It is what it is.
You're not the smallest person I've ever met, so there's that. I met somebody who's actually a little shorter and a little slimmer than you, so.
Oh yeah,
they exist. They're just few and far between.
Slimmer. What?
Yeah,
I'm gonna Chris Berman on you guys here. What?
I know it happens. It happens.
Smaller than a CD.
Smaller than a CD,
which is a unit of measurement.
Americans will use anything but the metric system.
Especially because CDs are measured in inches.
This is my phone. Exactly, I think that this is probably the size of Steph's waist right here. This is pretty much about what it is right here.
Yeah, but that's a metric phone.
Yeah, true.
How many bananas wide is Steph?
I mean, it happens,
I think she might be 1 or 2 Tomothys wide.
Oh.
Look at that! How Produce Cats! Boom! Produce Cats reference. Oh, Produce Cat reference.
Wait! I got a painted one here somewhere. Yeah, well, before we are going to talk about Jaws, and before we do that, I did want to see if you guys want to do a quick update on what's going on with InSymmetry. We should do that too. Also,
sure, I'll take care of
that. Matt can do that very well.
All right.
As you can see, I'm actually wearing the Tatsumi, the Serpent Mistress, the Water Mistress shirt right now.
Nice.
So Tatsumi issue 1 is out at the printers right now. It's done. It's at the printers. We hope to have it out mid-August. We are on the Kickstarter. We said it was going to be the fulfillment would be in September. Some of the specialty items. We have this really, really awesome person, this awesome company that's doing some wooden covers for us. Sarah might know them. We have leather work. We have other things like that. Those things might be on time in September. They might be in August. You never know. But we know that the bulk of the stuff and the digitals and all that are going to be in August, which is great. We're working on Heirs of Isildur, The Perilous Prospects, the finale, book 5 of 5. That's going to be our next Kickstarter. Our colorist is getting through some of the pages right now on that, which look freaking amazing. For Tatsumi, we are working on equal parts of issue 2 and issue 3 right now at the same time. Our artist, Alessandro, is already working through issue 3. We have a band that is doing a guest spot in issue 2, the Dread Crew of Oddwood out of California. They're a pirate metal band, and they have a scene that's in there. We actually had some discussions with them today, working through some of that, which is pretty fun. Yeah, we're having fun. If you see in my name, I put our link tree down there, and that's got all of our social medias in there. We just updated the link tree, so all of our metal music, our videos, all of Steph's articles that she writes for Creepy Kingdom, Fangoria, Horror Geek Life, Horror Buzz are all in there. So if you go to our link tree, you can get to all the stuff. You can get to our Kickstarter links. It's going to be a rocking good time.
And I think your link tree full link is cut off. Can you tell us?
Is it? It is.
InSymmetry
/InSymmetry Creations. Creations. Yep.
Stupid restream.
So,
yeah, InSymmetry Creations is pretty easy, right? Well, I'll put it down here.
And like we said, we're going to be at GeekCon in Shreveport, Louisiana, at the end of the month, or 3.5 weeks from now.
It still cuts it off.
Wow, that's annoying.
No, that was great.
It's all good.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, like, it still cuts it off. That's so dumb. Like, why isn't it showing the whole thing?
It's free stream. It's okay. This is live streaming to everybody. This is what happens.
It's all good.
It's
okay. All good in the hoop.
I'm going to put it in the comments
going on with
for
us.
everybody.
We're working on all this fun stuff and knocking it all out.
Nice.
I'm typing. Don't watch me type. I'll screw it up.
Okay, we're not watching. I'm looking elsewhere.
Okay, I got it. We got it.
You done typing?
There we go. Yep.
Never should have given me.
He's such a good co-host, man. He's just
here to support.
Okay, so let's talk about why we all gathered here today. After I get the cat hair out of my eyelash. Let's talk about Jaws. Let's listen to what Steph has to say about so we all watched it in the past couple of days, I think, except I don't know about you, Steph, because you've seen it probably 1 million times.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Well, I watch it every 4th of July. That's a tradition. If I can't watch it on 4th of July, then it's like the days prior or whatever. So, and usually I'll watch it like.
She watched it 2 weeks ago with her cat.
I did.
There you
My
go.
cat named Brody, named after the character in the movie. Yeah. So yeah, no, at this point I could quote it because Matt said the other day, he was like, well, I need to watch it because I've never watched it all the way through. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, well, if you would rather, I could just quote the entire movie to you. I could act it out and quote the entire movie, which honestly, I feel like he would probably prefer. But for the sake of the show, he did watch the actual movie. Yeah.
Okay. You're going to need a bigger boat scene. Go.
Yeah, you're going to need a bigger boat. Really, that's the line. And that line is misquoted about as much as the famous Star Wars line is, because a lot of people say in Star Wars, he says, Luke, I am your father. Nope. And he just says, I'm your father. So with Jaws, it's you're going to need a bigger boat. A lot of people misquote it. We're going to need a bigger boat.
We're going to need a bigger, yeah. Makes
sense. But yeah.
I said it correctly, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. No, you did.
Okay, good. I was like,
you were good.
Because I saw the trailer and I was like, wait a second. I thought it was weird. And I heard your, and I'm like, I'll have to remember that.
It's one of those movie things. A lot of movie things are misquoted often. So.
Yeah. And that's, you don't hear a lot of movies that are being made in the recent past getting, like, having those quotes that withstand the test of time, like Star Wars stuff and like Jaws. Until last night, I'd never watched the movie all the way through. I'd seen bits and pieces. I knew the gist of the story, of course, but I'd never actually watched it. Sort of like Matt. And then when I finally did the one where I was like, that's some bad hat, Harry. I was like, I've heard that line 1 million times because of the production company, and I knew it was from a movie. I had no idea what it was from.
That's from Jaws. Well, and it's funny because my mom and I have like an ongoing joke that whenever we see somebody and it doesn't even have to be a hat. If it's anything that is like fashionably like a faux pas, we're like, oh, that's a bad hat, Harry. So we know exactly what we mean when we say that.
Well, I think if you look at where movies were in the mid 70s through early 80s, I feel like a lot of those iconic phrases are iconic because they weren't trying to make them iconic. They were just trying to make a movie. Think about how many things get quoted from Jaws or from Blazing Saddles. There's things in my life that are just like a part of my daily existence from Blazing Saddles that happen every day. Star Wars.
Frequently.
I
Terminator.
quote. I'm hard. I don't
like
even
that,
know that
like,
I'm doing it, and I do it with Blazing Saddles. Blazing Saddles is horrible for me. I'm like, oh man.
I mean, just because you do it for Randolph Scott, I mean, it is what it is, and I just feel like part of the reason why those things are so quotable is because they happened organically, and I feel like with movies nowadays, they're trying to find that viral moment. They're trying so hard to have that thing that's going to become a part of social consciousness, and I feel like that kind of is lost a little bit. That doesn't have that test of time because they're trying too hard to make it.
In a lot of new movies, they'll have a scene where it's just characters rattling off sound bites that are going to be recorded and put into toys with voice modules. Yeah. It's so terrible.
It is
distracting.
You have to kind of like give a little bit of leeway for those movies.
I'm looking at you, Transformers.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay. So I guess like we usually go opening thoughts and closing thoughts, and then we do our criticisms and affections in the middle, but we're kind of covering that. I mean, we all know by this point that this is Steph's all-time favorite movie.
Yep. But hey, here's the thing. I'm not going to hate on anybody that doesn't love it as much as me. That's the beauty of loving things, whether it be books or movies or anything in the arts, is that
I'm appreciating that I didn't.
It's okay. Like, as long as you're not like, this is the biggest piece. Because I was at San Diego Comic-Con on this panel. There's 1,000 people that came to listen to writers geek out over it. So clearly there's a following there, and there's people that agree that this is one of the best movies ever made. Quentin Tarantino. Other people have said it, but I'm never going to disparage somebody who doesn't like what I like, as long as they're respectful. Now, if they're like, you're stupid for liking that, I'll be like, okay. So that's not going to happen. Like,
I feel like that's about anything. If anybody ever has an opinion, they can go pound sand with anything.
Well, you're the people who make their love of something their entire personality. Those are the people that have a problem. But I didn't know that Jaws was your favorite movie until many months into knowing you, when you told me that, and it was more of an, by the way, we should do Jaws. Yeah, so.
And for me, it was many minutes into knowing you that Jaws was your favorite.
Yeah, and
maybe single digits though.
And sometimes it gets hard. Like, I don't know, like, you can talk about things you love online and then people just make fun of it so much. Jaws is not one of them, but there's other things. So you're like, I'm just not going to mention it.
We know that there's no such thing as a perfect movie. There's no such thing as a perfect story. So, and this movie, it's actually like the budget challenges and all the different hurdles that they had to jump in order to make this movie happen. Make it an impressive movie. To me, I think they make it an impressive movie just by that virtue. Like, they had like no money. They had a animatronic shark that kept malfunctioning. Yep. They had all these issues. And well, I guess, Steph, do you wanna tell us a little bit about it, because I know you know more about it than the rest of us.
So Steven Spielberg was a very young filmmaker. A lot of people don't realize that Jaws, and if it sounds like I'm talking down, I'm not trying to. I just know that not everybody knows that Jaws was originally a novel written by Peter Benchley, who makes a cameo in the movie as one of the reporters, which I think is really great. And that book was based off of some real life events that happened in New Jersey in like 1916, where there actually was a shark that went on like a rampage and killed a bunch of people. Like, it ate and killed a kid, like in the movie. So there are definitely some similarities there. And there was even an incident where the shark found its way in kind of like a tributary or like a pond where it should not have been. That makes it into the movie and into the book as well. So, so Steven Spielberg was a very young, I think he was 27. I want to say he was 27. Wow. It was one of his first films. It wasn't his first, but it was one of his first films. And they kind of, and the joke is that the screenwriters who developed the movie into like a movie script said that they read Peter Benchley's novel and said, oh, we have to make this into a movie. And then they said, if we had read it again, we would never have done it, because they kind of like got really excited about it and didn't realize the logistical limitations that come with a movie like that, because you're not going to film it with a real shark, obviously. And we're talking about the 1970s, and it was an animatronic shark. So yes, the shark kept breaking down. But the beauty of that is that it kind of helped with the movie and what
the suspense.
The suspense. Because it's about an hour, I want to say it's like an hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half into the movie before you actually see the shark fully. Before that, it is all John Williams' impressive score that we all know. Like even if you've never seen Jaws before, if you hear the theme song, you're gonna know what it is.
How old was John Williams when this came out?
You know, I don't know. I know he's in like his 80s now. He's
okay, so he was still a kid.
Yeah, so he was young as well.
93 years old now.
Okay, yeah.
Holy balls. He's been there. He's been around
doing concerts. I mean, and obviously he went on to do many, 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 many iconic scores for film. But when you do that with the POV of the shark and you don't see it, and one of the things that I loved at the panel that I was on from Chris, who was our Guinness World Record holder of all the, more Jaws memorabilia than anybody else, he said, you have to make it up in your mind what's going on, because you're seeing the victims that are being killed, but you're not seeing the shark itself until much later in the movie. And until that, you're going to need a bigger boat. I mean, you see like some fins and like kind of some thrashing and that kind of thing. So, so it was, in that way, it was cinematography wise and score wise, it was groundbreaking for its time, because, this was amongst, either before or after a lot of slasher movies where you see the killer stalking somebody. And this is a natural occurring. I mean, this could actually happen. Like you hear about shark attacks, maybe not necessarily as bad as what happened in Jaws, but you do hear about shark attacks. They do happen. And so I think it just traumatized a generation of people to not want to go in the water.
Yeah. That was
more
one
than
of
a
the
generation. Like people are still like, shark.
We're still. To this
Sharks don't
day,
give a
like that's, like I said, I'd never watched the movie in its entirety, and I was like, oh, you can't go because the sharks will eat you, and they don't. Like, that's not true. Sharks mostly avoid humans. If they bite you, it's probably because they mistook you for a seal. Yep. They. I mean, have you ever seen a person on a surfboard or a paddleboard?
They look
like a seal from underneath, and I think you can't blame the shark for that.
Best eyesight in the world, so it's like, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah,
when we go into their territory, we have to respect it.
Yeah, and that was one of the criticisms that we had. One of the big ones that we had was something that the filmmakers could never have anticipated or done anything about, because that multi-generational fear of sharks and irrational misunderstanding of sharks is something that movie did, and I don't know how they could have made the movie differently to make that not happen. Like, have the oceanographer guy pontificate about how sharks don't do this stuff. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, every now and then, yeah, exactly. Like, every now and then, you just get an asshole animal that wants to eat people. Like, what are you gonna do?
Most of the time, it's another human.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, it's usually it, but like in this case, it was a shark.
No more explanation needed than that. They're just an asshole.
Yeah, and it's not even like the shark was an asshole. The shark was just sharking. Like, he was just doing what he
wanted to do. He's just hungry. He's just
hungry. Was it Amanda that said last night if they would have just stayed out of the water for a few days to a week,
Yeah, it would have gone on.
Now the mayor completely escapes any blame for his role in this. He gets to continue being the mayor, even though if he just would have listened to Brody and left the people out for 4th of July, the shark would have got sick of it and left. What's that?
That's one of the things that I appreciate about the movie that is also very sad from a time capsule perspective, is that this movie was made in 1975, and that part of it could have been made at any point in society, because how many things are there in the world that are not good for us, that are harmful to us, that hurt human beings, but because businesses have found a way to be able to get their lobbyists and all that to pass laws and influence laws, that they knowingly are pumping chemicals into the air and into our foods and stuff like that, because they're like, well, it's big business, and so we have to do this.
We have the best government money can
that was
buy.
One of the things that, that was one of the things that kind of struck me, is I'm like, we literally have had this same conversation probably every day since that movie was made about who cares if it's bad for people, we need to make money, and we just have to cross our fingers that it's not going to hurt them too bad. And just like in the movie, it definitely hurt them really bad, and the people paid the price, and the same thing happens to us nowadays.
Shout out to the comment that we just saw from Ed Davis, Shark's Gonna Shark, which is true, but got to meet Ed Davis in person just on Friday, which was really awesome, and sat his panel, which was great.
Yeah, that's one big really downside to the internet, is like you meet all these cool people, but it's so hard to like actually get together and hang out.
I know. In San Diego, I mean, it was a great opportunity. I'm like, you know what? Got to meet our buddy Ed, so it was great, and he did great. They had a wonderful panel about breaking into indie comics, so it was great.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah. Apparently they record most of these, so maybe we'll get to see Ed's panel too at some point. That'd be cool. I think so.
Yeah, I tried to take some pictures because I was like, well, I don't know if there's anybody in the audience that's going to do some promo pics for them, and turned out fuzzy, so not bad. But
at least you can make out Ed in that picture, like we know it's Ed.
yeah, exactly.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Oh, anyway. Shark's Gonna Shark. Yeah.
Shark's Gonna Shark.
Yeah. So like the shark got a bad rap, and he gave, and that, we were all kind of like, that poor tiger shark that got trussed up in the beginning. They were like, this is the shark. This is definitely, we killed the shark. It must be the shark. And I don't know why they decided that the big one was the one that was killing everybody. Like that, they couldn't have known just because it was the big one. Well, they had a good idea.
Hooper was able to hypothesize because he was a shark expert.
Right.
And the first thing he does is measure the bite radius, and he's like, listen, I'm not saying that this shark didn't attack people. It might have, but the bite radius of this shark does not match the bite radius of the victim that was killed, this poor girl, Chrissy. And so for him, it was like, okay, we need to go out and just find a big ass shark. Whatever the biggest shark is that's out there right now is probably the shark. So technically, they didn't really have any kind of definitive proof, but they knew.
Yeah.
They knew.
They were pretty sure.
There's a $3,000 prize out there. Like, I'm going to try and claim it.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, Hooper was a shark expert. He knew. Quint was obsessed with sharks and wanting to kill sharks because of his experience before. They knew that's what it was. But there was a tooth that they, kind of like were able to, and the fact that the shark was just kind of terrorizing them the whole time because it was still very hungry.
Yeah. We were pretty, we knew because that's how a movie works, but they didn't have any real proof. And then Brody blows the entire shark up, so they couldn't have proven it by. Well, we definitely knew that was the shark that ate Quint. So at least there's that.
It was the shark that ate Quint. We saw it. We saw it happen. So yeah.
And, let's take a second to talk about how bad Hooper is at hanging on to stuff, because
he drops everything.
Everything.
So Hooper is your quintessential. I mean, they set him up at the very beginning that here's this little privileged rich boy, He comes from money. His family is rich. He got to go to this privileged school and do exactly what he wanted to do. So I don't think Hooper, as much as he is obsessed with sharks and like studying them, has ever like done. I mean, he's never like been in the trenches like that.
You got city hands,
right?
Yeah, city hands. These are just.
Yeah, he was eager to learn and eager to get the experience, but he didn't have any actual going out and catching sharks experience.
I mean, he did, but not like that. Not like that.
Yeah, in a very much more controlled setting.
He is a little sissy boy.
Yeah.
But that's what I love. And I mentioned this on the panel. The thing I love about Jaws is the differences between the characters, but they all have the same goal. You have Brody, who feels responsibility to his city. And it's not even, he's from New York, but he is living in Amity, and he's the chief of police. He feels responsibility to the victims and to the people that are there. He doesn't want anybody else to die. You've got the arrogance of the mayor, who just wants the summer dollars. He wants to keep the beaches open, and they're fighting against each other about that. Brody wants to close the beaches. The mayor basically vetoes him, and it leads to more deaths. And who gets blamed? Brody gets blamed. Then you have Quint, who just wants the money and wants to just kind of hunt the shark for sport, because he's been through this horrible thing where he was, on the Indianapolis and was floating in the water and, saw his friends and comrades killed by sharks. So he's got a little bit of revenge. And then you have Hooper, who's just there for educational purposes and loves sharks. Like he's geeking out over it. All of them want something different, but they all want the same thing. They want the shark to die.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I love about it so much, is that it's not just, it's not just marauders. It's not like your typical action or fantasy movie where it's like, we're going to go fight the bad guys because we just want to defeat them. They all have different purposes, but they all come together, and they all have very, very different personalities.
Yes.
But in that moment, it does not matter. Hooper and Quint don't really get along. They didn't get along in real life either. And so, but they put all that aside because they're like, we just need to kill the shark.
We talked about that last night a bit too. When we were watching the movie, there was a weird camaraderie bromance thing going on between Hooper and Quint.
Yeah.
And like when they were comparing their scars.
I
And
loved it so much. Well, they were drunk.
Brody should have just left the room.
Alcohol, and I love that scene because there's a lot of tension between them, because they're kind of like, and the actors in real life did not get along. That was pretty much Robert Shaw like terrorized Richard Dreyfuss the entire time, and just kind of like, from all accounts,
seems like a thing.
I was not even born, but Robert Shaw was a little inebriated the whole time during filming. That's why he's kind of hard to understand. He's slurring his words. The character of Quint and him were kind of the same. They're just kind of
that struck me as, how we make jokes about how whenever Ryan Reynolds gets a part, it's just Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, or Ryan Reynolds as Adam, or like same with Chris Pratt, kind of with RDJ. Yeah, it's just,
there's
just, and I think that he was the original though. Yeah.
I mentioned that the other day, just to segue like real quick, because we're talking about Jaws, but I saw Fantastic Four in the theater.
Okay.
And other than Pedro Pascal, it was really nice to see actors that are a little bit lesser known playing these characters, because when you go and see like some of these major Marvel movies, you're like, I'm just watching Ryan Reynolds, or I'm just watching Chris Hemsworth, or I'm just watching Robert Downey Jr. Nothing against those actors, I love them, but it's very hard after a while to kind of not see the actor as a character. So
right.
Yeah.
Right. That's, I thought, I think they were all, like, the Jaws crew is all well cast. I think the Jaws cast is I don't know that there's anybody that I would have been like, oh, they should have gotten somebody else for that part. Like, they all fit their roles really well.
So perfect.
Some of the dialogue, so we had a disagreement on this. Some of the dialogue, bit clunky. And it could have been written better, but some of the best freaking lines that I've ever heard in my life are from that movie. Obviously, that Some Bad Hat Harry is just a weird little funny one, but when Hooper is trying to tell those guys not to go out on the boat, and not to overload the boat. And then he's like, haha, they're all gonna die. And I was almost peed my pants laughing so hard from that one.
Like, yeah, those guys they're all gonna die.
Yeah.
So like matter of fact about it because they're idiots. Because they're just, we want the money. We're just gonna throw a bunch of chum in the water and go out there in our little dinghy, and what we find, no, this is.
And just so we're clear, so Quint eventually gets what he wants in that the mayor's going to pay him $10,000 to kill the shark, along with $200 a day. And I ran it through an inflation calculator, and that's like $62,000 in today's money. And the $200 a day is something like $1,000 a day.
And that's why he destroys the comm system, And there's a lot of anger about that, but he's like, no, we're not calling for help. We're going to do this ourselves because I want the money. And that's why and you're like, this guy is insane.
But destroyed by his own hubris in the end, right?
Yep.
That and his, like, we are at first, like, for the longest time in the movie, we meet him and then we think he's not going to be anything. And then he turns out to be the main player. And we're like, God, this guy's an asshole. What is his problem? And then we hear the what I thought was an excellently delivered monologue.
One of the best
about the Indianapolis. That was a very well delivered, like, among many poorly delivered lines, among many poorly written lines in this movie. That one is a really good monologue. And I feel like the dialogue, it wasn't bad. It was just kind of, some of it was clunky and like the timing was off. But given what they had to work with for this movie, I can overlook it. But that monologue, if you don't watch anything else about Jaws, you should go find a clip of that monologue. It's very good.
And historically accurate too.
Yeah, I was gonna say that really happened.
Yeah, it did. Yep. And for him to end it with like, well, we delivered the bomb. It's just, it's I love it because they're all kind of like a little tipsy and they're kind of joking around, and then they're sharing their scars and their tattoos, and he mentions that and it gets very serious all of a sudden, and then the mood completely comes down and you're just focused in on what he's talking about, as if it was somebody that was, if you had talked to somebody in real life that had experienced that.
And if they had just not started singing, then they would have been hopefully able to, like, they may have been able to save their boat. In the end,
the shark was like, "Listen, you guys can't sing. I need to kill you right now." He's like,
"Not a musical."
Yeah, y'all are way too drunk and tone deaf for this shit. I'm sick of it. But yeah, like they weren't paying attention and they were all drinking, and it was just when you're hunting a dangerous animal, you maybe shouldn't drink until you catch it.
No,
just a thought.
So them singing on the boat was actually interesting because I watched the challenge on MTV, and the last season they had the finalists had to do this thing on the water, and one of the things they had to go do some activities, had to do this. Then they made them try to stay up for 24 hours doing this crazy crap on this boat. And one of the things they did was they had to stay awake by singing this song, and I'm like, where the heck did this ridiculous song come from? And then I watched the movie and I was like, they literally had him singing the song out of freaking Jaws.
That's amazing.
I didn't know at the time. How did I know that? They were singing the song out of the Jaws movie. Like, that's pretty cool.
On the panel, they showed a video of them singing that song at Martha's Vineyard when they went for the actual 50th anniversary. And I'm thinking, are they going to have us sing on this panel? Because I can't sing, but I would sing that song. Yeah.
That song, I think, as I do sing a little, and that song to me seems like one of those songs that was designed to be sung by people who don't sing, as a rule. Like it
has like a little bit of a sea shanty.
It's just it's jaunty. It's jaunty, but it's simple. It's not meant for you don't need to be an accomplished opera sing. What the fuck are you doing, Kat? I thought it would be nice. I thought it would be a nice moment, but instead he's just slowly shredding my shoulder. It's fine.
Just what I need is another physical ailment during the show.
And it's also, like, it's really hot, too. You guys know, like, the entire country is on fire right now, so...
I mean, I live in the desert, so Matt's in Florida.
Segue. 9:50 p.m. here. The real feel, the heat index right now at 9:50 p.m. is 100.
Gross.
What in the hell? 9:50 p.m. it is 100 outside
disgusting.
real feel. That's ridiculous.
I think your question is...
Okay, yeah, ours is still, ours is still 90, but the temperature is dropping, so thank God for that. Ugh. Yeah. So yeah, we're kind of interspersing all the good stuff with the bad stuff. Like, what's something that Steph, that you really do not like about this movie?
Oh, let's see here.
You can appreciate, like, if you don't like it, but you appreciate it, that still counts. But, like, what is something that you genuinely wish they had done differently because you just don't like it?
That's a good question, actually. That's so hard for me to answer. I feel like there's a couple of scenes where the editing is very odd. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure, and it's never been talked about. Like, there's a scene when because this movie, and I always say, like, it's more of like a 2-act structure than a 3-act structure. There's the stuff that happens on Amity, and then there's when they go out on the boat to try to kill the shark. If you really want to break it down in 3 acts, we could, and I could go into that, but I won't, just because we're limited on time. There's some scenes when they are on the Orca where there's a scene in particular where Brody is kind of, he's not like necessarily barking orders, but like it kind of trails off. And it's very weird. And you don't know why. And it just, and there's no like rhyme or reason for it. And I've always been like, that's a really weird editing choice, because I don't know if they were going for something. And if they were, it does not come across to the audience. So the first half of the movie is edited really great. There's really good, like, back and forth, like, conversations and banter. When it's just the three of them, there are some times where the editing seems a little choppy. And I'm not quite sure.
Do you think that that's possibly because of budget limitations?
Because, and the other thing too is, by the end of filming, and they filmed a lot of this movie consecutively, not all of it, but a lot of it, because they filmed out in the open sea. They weren't in a tank or anything like that. Side note, there's two times where you see shooting stars at night when they're on the boat, and those were they just got lucky. That wasn't like, there's no CGI
about that, because I was like, that was so random, but they were lit up in kind of a greenish hue, and I thought, do those mean something?
No, they just got lucky and caught them.
Nice.
Spielberg was so frustrated by the end of that movie and filming that he just kind of like, and this is obviously, I don't know Spielberg, so I can't ask the man myself, but the story goes is that he couldn't even watch the last scene be filmed and left because he was just so frustrated.
Wow.
At that point in time. This is why there is a Broadway show called The Shark is Broken that details all of the troubles that they had filming the movie, and stars Ian Shaw, who is Robert Shaw's son, who plays Quint and sounds and looks exactly like him. But now it's a tradition. It's like a superstition, supposedly, where Spielberg, any film that he films, he's not present for the very last scene that's filmed. Because he said, oh, well, it turned out fine. So now he's superstitious and goes, I won't be there for it. So yeah, I feel like there's a little bit of an unraveling, and there's a lot of high tension. They were on the sea. You know, it was just unpredictable conditions. The shark was always breaking. There was all of that stuff that they had to kind of contend with. And so I think that maybe towards the end, they got a little, let's just finish this thing and get it done.
I know that feel.
That feels like a lot of creative stuff. Where you're just like, let's just get this.
Why haven't we not been creatives?
Do you think that Spielberg would make this movie, like, do a remake of it if he was given the opportunity? Do you think he would want to do it? I think that would ruin it myself. So,
yes. And this is one of those films that's highly regarded as we do not need a remake of that. If they were to ever do a remake of it, I don't think, as much of a fan as I am, I don't think that I would go and see it, because I feel like they would Hollywood it too much, and it does not. There's no need to remake it. There's no need to remake it.
Well, and the thing that makes that movie what it is because it happened 50 years ago with the kind of understanding and intelligence and technology that we had then. It's like 3 movies that you couldn't remake nowadays and have it make sense are Blazing Saddles, Jaws, and Home Alone.
Yeah.
Because Home Alone, all you need is a freaking cell phone.
Yeah.
And the whole movie's over in 2 minutes.
Well, and there's a lot of movies too. Back to the Future is another franchise where there's no need to remake them. Why?
Right.
What would you add to it that you couldn't get?
I mean, to be fair, there's been a lot of remakes in the past several years that never needed it in the first place, which that's just Disney trying to cash in on its fandoms without actually doing any real work of, finding a good story. Like, come on. Like, okay, just the 4 of us here, we've all written stories that are definitely worthy of a movie. And I'm not even that good of a writer. I am the worst writer of the 4 of us. And I have written a story that would be a good movie. A better movie than a remake of Aladdin, which was already a perfect movie. We did not need another Lilo and Stitch. We did not need another Little Mermaid. We don't need another Jaws.
Lilo and Stitch, they changed the main thing that made Lilo and Stitch good. They changed it in the live action one. I'm like, what are you guys doing? So anyone that live action of Lilo and Stitch.
And we've got an attachment to that because we know one of the animators, Lilo and Stitch, is a really good friend of ours.
Why are you changing the plot so much?
Don't mess with this guy's stuff.
Once I heard that, I was like, I'm not watching that. Why?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I've heard.
I'll tell you one of the things that I don't like. And when I say don't like, it has nothing to do with Jaws. Yeah. There's a certain thing about stuff done in the 70s that kind of frustrates me, but it happens across all movies in the 70s. Think about now. One of the things that frustrates you is when music comes in a nowadays movie, and the music comes in and it's so much louder than the dialogue that you're like, that's unnecessary. And so you're like battling back and forth. One of the things about 70s movies that I have a hard time with, especially in horror movies, is when somebody screams and they're screaming into the mic and it's just kind of overloading the mic. And I feel like there's a couple times when Brody is trying to be the gruff parenting dad and he screams at the kid. And I'm like, the sound quality of him screaming, he's screaming, "Hey kid, get off that boat." And then the lady's like, "He's okay. He's just in the boat." He's like, "I told you to get out of that boat."
Because she sees it, because she's like, "Oh, he's fine." And then
she's talking about the audio.
She's like, "Michael, you heard your father."
Right. But,
the scene is good. The production of it needs.
Yeah, it's the audio is so. It's just a 70s thing that they do, where they're like,
you got to remember they're New Yorkers. You know.
Oh, like I said, it has nothing to do with the fact it's a 70s thing that 70s movies do. Like, think about Amityville Horror, where when the guy is screaming, he screams so loud that you kind of hear the fuzz in his scream, like it overloaded the mic. And that was one of the things where I was like, it was just one of those 70s things that has nothing to do with Jaws as a movie. It's just that's one of those 70s things I'm not a fan of.
The sound mixing.
I'm not a fan of,
like you said, all 70s movies, all older movies have a sound mixing problem. And it's just that scene that you're talking about in Jaws is another great one. I agree, because it was like, oh, she saw the picture of him biting the boat, and then all of a sudden she agrees with her husband on the kids being in the boat. But the sound mixing was.
By the way,
what was that?
Local play Kiss Cam concert stuff going on in the book there, but book is a very different story.
Yeah, I kind of want to read the book. I don't know if I'll get around to it anytime soon. But I do kind of want to read the book just to see what Jaws was based on now.
Young when I read the book, but one of the major differences, and thank God they didn't do it in the movie, is there's a lot more interaction between all the characters, and Brody's wife and Hooper have an affair in the book, which is gross.
Oh, weird. Well, okay, so they do kind of
major plot line of the book, and I'm like,
Yeah,
like,
interesting.
They have like an interaction, like
they have a little flirt there when Brody's not paying attention, but they don't really. It's totally innocent. Yeah, interesting. Huh.
He's way younger than, I don't know. It's a whole thing.
Well, and it seems like with the movie being as long as it was, it's probably good that they cut stuff like that out, because it would be.
There was no reason for it.
Yeah, I mean, 2 hours is an insane time for a movie from the 70s, isn't it? Like, I mean, now it's nothing for us to have to stop the movie to go pee in the middle of one of ours, but like for the 70s, 2 hours. Ow.
Yeah.
He's making biscuits, and they're biscuits of pain on my arm.
I'm very familiar. Like, and ask Matt. He knows biscuits of pain is and
he's very cute. Like, can I lean back far? There. He's just being very cute, but he's just so.
That's such a weird thing that cats do. I did not know until recently the biscuits was even a thing.
That, right?
No, I know, but I'm saying I didn't even know until recently that was even a thing. It's just such a trip.
It's just they're just when they're little babies. But yes. Yeah, biscuits of pain is a nightly routine for me.
Yeah, I try to keep their claws trimmed, but it doesn't seem to matter. Like, I keep their claws blunted, and it doesn't matter at all. No, they'll still shred my skin.
I'm gonna find the most sensitive, like, part of your arm or leg or whatever, and I'm just gonna put my needles into you over and over again.
Yeah.
For like minutes.
Yeah.
So, Sarah, you probably know this. Brian, I don't know if you know this, but we have a 6 degrees of separation from the movie Jaws to our InSymmetry Creations stuff, where Steph, we work on video chat. I'm in Florida, Steph's in California, and she made a shark at what's the name of it? My brain is completely blanking. Build-A-Bear. And it literally sits in the background of the frame that she's in. And okay, she's probably going to get. So this stuffed animal is named Bruce, and it's named Bruce after the shark in the movie. The shark in the movie is named Bruce after Steven Spielberg's, after the lawyer. And Steph's shark is named Bruce McTutherson. And so we have our series Misfits Clubhouse, and one day we're just having one of those weird ideas. We just kind of, there you go. Hey, what's up, Bruce? So there's the Bruce McTutherson that sits in the back of the screen at all times. And so we were just kind of spitballing ideas for some secondary characters for Misfits Clubhouse. And Bruce McTutherson turned into an aquatic investigator. And now if you look at our
he's a character in our story now.
You can see there's Bruce McTutherson, aquatic investigator. He's in here mashed up with Birdo from Mario Kart. But so that's our 6 degrees of separation because of that stuffed animal, because of Steph's love of Jaws. That stuffed animal sits in the background.
Things ridiculous names.
Yeah, and so it's become one of our most popular characters out of that series, all because she has the fandom and has the shark that she made with her kids that sat back there. We just kind of spitballed and turned it into a story one day.
Love it.
Fantastic.
So organic. It's great.
Okay, so I have one more question for the Jaws expert, and then we should probably get to our quiz.
Yeah, because we're already at an hour.
yeah, I see that.
Sorry, everybody.
Bruce was the name of the shark, but did they ever call the shark Bruce in the movie? Did they ever name the shark in the movie? They named the puppet Bruce, right?
Yeah, that was lovingly what they called the animatronic shark behind the scenes. Like, they never called the shark anything other than the shark in the movie. Bruce was totally like a production thing that Spielberg did. And like Matt said, it was, and Matt knows this because it's me. But yeah, Steven Spielberg's lawyer's name was Bruce. And so, there's a whole joke about lawyers being sharks or whatever. So
right.
What they call the animatronic shark, but never in the movie is the shark called anything other than.
Yeah, I remember at one point I was typing stuff up and I was like, I just called the shark Jaws, and then I was like, I don't think that's his name, but like, well, y'all know what I meant, so not a problem.
They didn't really name him. I mean, I wish that they would have, but that was a whole behind the scenes thing.
Yeah,
Well, I kind of feel like if you would have named him, I feel like Jaws is such an iconic thing. It's like, it's transcended. So like you hear Jaws, you know exactly what it is. It's the movie. It's the shark. It's Jaws.
Right.
Yeah.
Amanda,
hello.
how's it going?
Not too bad.
Yeah. Well, we're getting close to wrapping up, I think. Yes. But since you're here, do you have any do you have any like big nitpicks that you wanted to clear with Steph, because she's been telling us like a lot of the like reasons behind some of the issues. Like a lot of the stuff that we argued that was bad about the movie are, just it's a movie from the 70s and things were different then, and it would not be the same movie now, and yada yada. But
too, I'm not ever one that's going to be like, oh my god, you have to love it too.
yeah. There was a lot of production stuff though that we talked about. So
still don't tell
I don't know if you had like one big one that you wanted to talk about quick before, because I'm sure we can spare a few more minutes.
Not big one. I mean, it just seemed the pacing was poor and the dialogue was not engaging and the relationship between the guys was not particularly stellar, and they made many poor choices throughout the entire movie. So it's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly where it all went wrong.
Yeah. I don't disagree on any single point, but I do like the movie came together for me in a way that I don't think it did for you.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you look at it was based off of a book that was, it was apparently an okay book. I would have to read it to give that the comparison there. They cut out a bunch of other storylines that would have at least engaged us more with other characters, which would have been an interesting change, I suspect. But yeah, it was
most of them, as we've learned. Not all of them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think ultimately we were all rooting for the shark and disappointed.
Yeah, I knew the shark wasn't gonna make it to the end. I am curious about why there's a Jaws 2 and a Jaws 3 and a Jaws 16, the Jawsening. Like, why are there so many?
3 and 4 get a little silly. Jaws 2 is okay. Jaws.
So it was after 2 that they jumped the shark?
Yeah, they really
The
jumped the shark. I don't watch the sequels very often, as much as I'm a fan of the original. Jaws 2 is okay. As a kid, I watched Jaws 3 and 4 a lot, but they're silly. And Jaws 3, of course, is famous for trying to do 3D back when they did not have the 3D technology, and attacking an aquarium, and then in Jaws 4, the shark literally follows the family to the Bahamas. So it gets a little silly. But we're not talking about the sequels. We're talking about the original. Yeah.
Did you touch on the relationship between the guys and how they were almost going to kiss throughout most of the movie? And that was one of the most positive things about the movie, was like, oh, that's some really positive male, potentially dating energy.
We found out they hated each other in real life.
Right?
Yeah. They had, it was like I think the closest term that I can say is that it was a bromance. And they sort of bonded over just the scars and the stories, but yeah, like, it's so interesting to find that they hated each other, and that poor Richard Dreyfuss.
Well, then the characters don't get along. It was just this one moment where they were going to let loose and have drinks, and you kind of know, like, if you've ever had too many drinks and you're like, I'm going to be like really friendly and open, and then the next day you're like, I made a fool of myself. That's kind of what it was.
It happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
I maintain they were flirting.
I mean, yeah, it certainly can be viewed that way.
Oh yeah.
Until he torpedoed the conversation.
Yeah. I do. Okay. We're done.
All right, Kat. All right.
Sarah's like slowly going farther down the chair from the cat.
Oh, I've hurt his feelings now. He's looking at me with those big eyes.
Better give him some treats.
Yeah, like, I thought that the way that they were hanging out was a lot healthier than some of the male relationships that we hear about today. Like, there's people out there that are like, that say if you let your wife decide what restaurant you're gonna go to for dinner, that means you're secretly gay. And I'm like, what? Because you want your wife to be happy today and you're gonna let her choose the restaurant, that makes you gay?
I think that says more about the speaker.
Yes, it does, 100%. Very much.
Their insecurities.
But, like, where do you get that how do you get so hyper masculine that you think that
Internet
catering to your wife in any way is in any way anything but how you maintain a healthy relationship? That's all that is. And I'm sure it's going to come as a shock to no one. I have 10 pounds of cat hair in my mouth now. But yeah, like that was the closest thing to a healthy interaction that I've seen on screen from a movie, and it's 50 freaking years old. And they were just, hanging out, and they were it certainly could be like I do think that there was a little bit of flirt in there too. But I also knew it was never going to go anywhere. Although I did not know that Quint doesn't make it through the movie. I didn't know that. I was a little surprised to see him go. Especially after the whole Indianapolis story. Like, I was a little surprised.
It seemed like they did him wrong that way.
Yes. I guess if of the three, I guess it made as much sense as anything else. Like, the only one that couldn't go was Brody, because he was the one that was trying to be respectful of the shark, but also protective of the people. And he didn't want to kill the shark. He just wanted the shark to go away. And that's why he wanted to keep people out of the water. So, he was the only one who didn't, do anything. But Hooper was a little bit cocky and inexperienced, and Quint was very cocky and kind of selfish. And so that's why, those two made sense to go, but not Brody. But I was a little surprised that I just kind of assumed they would all three make it through the whole thing somehow.
Yeah, I mean, from the story perspective, the one who has the most experience being the one that goes away didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It seemed like the other two were more likely. Yet, that's not, I mean, the marine
he didn't have the same
out there
armor.
Free swimming, no longer in the cage. He was a tasty snack waiting. And they were just like, nope, that didn't happen.
And when he's the one who kept dropping shit too, so why didn't
every
he
time
get it? I don't know. So
choices were made.
So I've read Steph, I've read a couple of your posts about why Jaws is your favorite movie. But to wrap up, I think that we should, we can all give our final thoughts here, but I do kind of want you to give us a quick recap of why is this your favorite movie?
So I was asked this on the panel, and I did touch on this earlier in the podcast,
yes.
So briefly go over it, but it is the different motivations of the characters. Oh boy, my battery is low on my laptop here. It's different motivations of the characters, where in the beginning you have the mayor, who is, without getting political, he's your typical politician, where he is thinking in the best interest of money and not the best interest of the people. And Brody is realizing right away that there's something very, very wrong going on in this town that isn't his town, that he loves anyway. And let's remember, Brody's afraid of the water. It's established very early on that he does not want anything to do. It's a big joke that he is police chief on this island. And then when there's an obvious threat, and then it becomes personal for him because his own kids are threatened, and he feels like a sense of responsibility. And then you bring in these other two characters who are completely opposite. You have kind of Hooper, who's kind of dorky and young and not very experienced in anything harsh or rough. And then you have Quint, who has done nothing but experience everything that's been difficult. He survived the attack on from the Indianapolis. He's a veteran. And you bring these three personalities together, and the whole second act of the movie is them all being very different, but all wanting the same thing, which is to get rid of the shark. All for very different motivations. You've got one of the most famous scores of all time with John Williams. You have the antagonist, who is the shark, who you do not see through completely into more than halfway through the movie. Mm-hmm. It's all POV, it's all cinematography, and it's all score that makes you feel terrified. That first scene where you see Chrissy being attacked, you don't see the shark. You know that she's being attacked by a shark. And it's terrifying. And for them to evoke that kind of emotion out of you, where it's very much like comics, where
Well, I think her battery died.
I think so. Oh no.
Ah. Well, let's all, like, maybe she can grab her charger and get plugged back in. But because it would be really weird if she didn't make the quiz.
Yeah.
My only chance to win for any of us.
So, let's all, like, what are your final thoughts on, like, your closing thoughts on this, Matt? Like, what did you think about the movie overall?
So here's what I would say. Here's what I would say. Hold on one sec. She just messaged that her laptop just did die.
Thought she warned us.
She did.
I'm a little mad that it died when she was telling us exactly why she loved it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, I think here's one of the things I can say I respect about Jaws. I'm choking on water.
Oh no.
I should stop asking this question.
Sorry about that. Just choking on some water. Brian, what do you feel sex?
Sounds good.
I expect that my stool is about to collapse and impale one of my legs as I answer this question. So I think it's a fine movie. I liked it, didn't love it. The caveat being, it's a fine movie for that era. You have to watch it through the lens of the 70s and what. So yeah, great, but it aged fairly well for 50 years, but not perfect.
Yeah.
I made it through the question.
Amanda, well, you didn't get a chance to talk about a lot of what we had discussed yesterday, so this is your chance to get the rest of your thoughts out.
I mean, it sort of summarized on it. I liked some of it. I did like seeing that more positive male interaction, that like
Yes.
they were able to be close to each other and touch each other, and nobody was trying to immediately go to the they must be homosexual jokes or anything like that. It was a very different feel as a result, and that was really nice to see. I think that, I mean, if you look at the reviews from the era, it was kind of a mid-movie, and it shows here. It's not an amazing movie. It's an okay movie. It's it wouldn't be memorable for anyone watching it today. And it was definitely
That's fair. Yeah, if you thought if that was a movie that was made today, it wouldn't be nearly as special, for sure.
It kind of reminds me in a way of how people watching Hitchcock's Birds they don't have the same reaction that they did back in the day either. You don't have a sudden people having a sudden fear of birds now.
Right. Yeah. I'm kind of in line with both of you. Like, I liked the movie. I appreciate the hell out of the movie. I see exactly where a lot of really cool stuff that we got in the years following came from that movie. I think that it's really cool that the shark not showing up more was just a budgetary malfunctioning puppet problem. And that actually made an entire genre of we don't see the bad guy because that's scarier than seeing the bad guy.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was just a budgetary thing. It was a good call.
The shark the puppet kept malfunctioning and they couldn't fix it properly. And there she is. Well, at least she'll get to catch the quiz. That'll work. Steph's in the comments now. Stupid battery. We really should be trying to cut this down to an hour, though, in her defense. Her battery's defense.
Well, that was actually Lori Calcaterra.
Oh, that was Lori Calcaterra. I don't know why I keep mixing you two up. I totally do it, though.
That was really weird.
Steph and Lori Calcaterra, the same thing, same people in my head for some reason. And you know what? It's stupid because I've spoken to both of you directly and separately, like you've never even been together in the show. Oh, yeah. So what are your thoughts on that?
Steph's actually having a hard time getting logged back in, which is interesting. Steph's having a hard time getting logged back in, which is interesting because when I just turned off my camera and my mic, I was having a rough time getting back in. So I wonder if there's something going on with Restream. So
I think
she
she's
going to try to get back in. She messaged me on her phone. But...
Yeah, I was trying to schedule shows for the upcoming next several weeks, and I was having a hell of a time with it. So I think they must have updated something the past couple of days, and it's just glitching out.
Ooh.
I will try and refresh and make a new link. I will send a new link.
Steph said when her laptop died, she just messaged me on her phone saying that it's not wanting to, like maybe her laptop just had an issue.
Yeah.
So
here's what I would say. Back in.
Yeah. So here's what I was trying to say before I so rudely started to choke and almost freaking, well, not right.
I'm glad you're all right.
Yeah, that was I just choked on water and that was stupid. But I will say this. Here's what I appreciate the most about a movie like Jaws and a movie like Star Wars. Officially said it on the show you're on Saturday a couple of weeks ago, where he's like, I can't go back to a movie in the past and judge what that movie was based on today, because what the cultural significance of it was at that time was so much different. The society was different. What we had as entertainment, what we had available was so different. And they were able to take that movie and have it still be relevant today. That's a testament to a fandom that built an empire around it. I mean, and I think the same thing about Star Wars. I think the first Star Wars movie is okay. I don't think it's the greatest movie in the history of movies. What I think is great about that is, if you've ever seen anything about the way that they created the merchandising and the aura around it, was incredible. That's why Star Wars still has relevance today, whether the new movies are good or not. They found a way to be able to make this gigantic universe around it. That's what I appreciate about Jaws, that they took something that they could make into a phenomenon, and they found a way to do it and keep it going to the point that you had 1,000 people in a panel at San Diego Comic-Con in one of the marquee panels of Friday night this past week, which is pretty incredible.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, there's just so much that we would not have today if it hadn't been for movies like Jaws. Like even in its day, if it was considered an okay movie and not an amazing movie, it still paved the way for a lot of stuff, which is pretty cool. So, with that being said, should we give Steph another minute, or just I'm gonna throw up the quiz.
Yeah, she messaged me and said, "Let's just move on to the quiz."
Yeah, I'm gonna throw up the quiz here, but I am going to hope that. Wait, I just heard a bleep. I heard the noise. She's back. Yay!
So yeah, I got this new computer set up, and it's not the easiest thing in the world. And so when my laptop died, it was like plugging in 5,000 cords, and so yeah. So now I had to move, and yeah.
Well, at least I was like, at least you can get in and like watch for the quiz, so that you can see the quiz. But now you're back, and that's
real quick before we go to the quiz. I want to make sure that Steph knows that Lori Calcaterra came in, and she literally said in all caps, "Matt, nah, I don't want to see you. Where's Steph?" Just kidding. And then when you came in, she cheered. She's like, "I want to see Steph," because so I want to make sure you know that Lori Calcaterra was commenting, looking specifically for you.
He wants to see you.
You know, is it because you two both, like, I keep mixing you two up in my head all the time, and I'm like, is it because you both have like long dark hair?
No,
and I don't know. Like, is it like
compliment?
Also because they're both super freaking cool.
Like, you're like both have kind of similar skin tones, and you both kind of have the long dark hair.
That's okay with me. You know what? I take that as a compliment.
I don't know, like, I don't know who would win in a fist fight or anything, but
Probably her.
Lori, because Lori spends a lot of time smashing things, and she has probably got a lot of upper body strength.
A little bit, yeah.
But like, if you were in a like a race, you'd win.
Oh probably. Yeah, that's true. I can outrun anybody, but I couldn't beat anybody up because I'm just too weak and small.
You don't need to try to outrun me. Like, I don't run.
Okay.
If there's a shark after us, I'm not running.
I'm trying to figure out this quiz because last time I did on my phone and I got a little confused. So I'm gonna see here. Join a game, right? Game ID.
You're trained for what though?
Lori
learned. Lori says I learned how to fight, so I don't have to run. Yeah, so like Steph could outrun Lori, but Lori would win in a close-up battle.
That's all I have against somebody that was outrunning them, you know.
And that, you know what? That's all you need to survive the fight. Just like,
I mean, true.
There you go. Lori says, if you see me running, you should also run because I can't kill it. That's fair.
Okay, so I have the quiz up on my phone. I'm ready to go here. If I lose, it's because I'm not reading as fast because somebody here reads very, very fast.
It's my only chance.
I think he cheats. I don't think he has access. Do you have access to this? Yeah, like you go in and you like find the quizzes.
No,
like,
you have. I have a totally different account for Blooker.
Yeah, I'm the only one who sees the quizzes before we play them on here. I got another cat and she's mad.
No, she's angry kitty. She's like
football.
Nope.
Football.
I am ready to try to not come in last because that is where I normally reside.
Well, to be fair, Amanda 2, 3, 4, and 5 is probably going to come in last.
So frustrated.
I'll be happy with second place.
Better.
Okay, Lori, are you coming into the quiz, or are you gonna give it a chance? Oh, you know what? We didn't talk about what the prizes were. I didn't ask. I had it in my head to ask Matt and Steph if they wanted to chip in a prize, and then I forgot. But like I don't have any Produce Cat stickers yet, but I will if you want to wait for them. Otherwise, you can have one of the standard. I got an Agents of Geekdom.
Aww.
I got a Madame Duvray chibi, and this one's actually like glittery. I've got Hollow Avocado.
Hollow Avocado.
Avocado.
Yeah, I've got this is the OG Produce Cat. Y'all see him? OG Produce Cat. I drew this at a Halloween convention like 5 or 6 years ago because I was bored out of my mind because it was Friday night and there was nobody coming. And then Saturday it was like balls to the wall, so I just didn't even have a second to think. But anywhose, no run.
So has to be off because my setup is
that's fine. Like anybody who's watching, like if you want to be in on the quiz, just go ahead. You play.blookat.com and enter that big number at the top there, or you can just scan that QR code, which pretty much works all the time. Like it works when you have a really small screen too. So, but if you're playing on your phone, that's a problem too. So I don't know. You're gonna have to figure that part out yourself. I can't help you with that. But if you scan the code though, it brings you right to the quiz, which is nice. You don't have to type in that dumb number.
Sweet. Let's do it.
And yeah.
I'll
give you guys another like 10 or 15 seconds here to try and get in, because I see people watching. I don't know if anybody else is going to jump in, but I know that more people than have jumped in are still watching. So if you guys want a chance to win a sticker, then
okay.
I like the music to this. Like this music is when everybody shuts up, the music comes through. And it is kind of fun, jaunty music. Speaking of jaunty, if y'all haven't ever watched the Netflix Jaws with the subtitles on, it is amusing.
I haven't.
That's where I watched it. That's where I watched it.
I own several DVD versions of it.
Yeah, the problem that I have with not just Jaws specifically, like all old movies, is that they either go by the script or they like get lazy and summarize what the person's saying instead of typing exactly what they said.
Yeah.
And that is obnoxious because we don't want to know what you think the summary of the character's statement is. We want to know exactly what they said so that we can summarize it for ourselves. But I wonder if that's a thing where like they are typing from the script and they are and they're that was what the script said, and then the actor ad-libbed a little. I wonder if that's what happens. I sometimes wonder if that's what happens. Sometimes it's very obviously the person who typed the captions was just being lazy. But, and like the ones where they're speaking a different language, but it's clearly a language that exists, and like there's no reason not to tell us the words that they're saying. And you can just say, says, speaking Italian. Like, no, tell me what they're saying. I know that you can type it.
Speaking Italian, yeah, that's always great.
Anyway.
All right, are we ready to do this quiz?
Yes, let's do it. Are you guys ready?
Do it.
Yes.
All right. I'm hitting start. And we're gone.
Okay.
We're gone? We're going. Oh, I think, is Amanda already kicked out?
Probably.
Yep.
I know, it just says answer
Oh,
6.
no.
And it's...
Yeah.
Yep, that's all I should say right now.
Okay. I'm doing it right then.
Yep.
If somebody says 2000, they're fired. I'm just saying.
If somebody says 1993, they'd get it the point from me, because all movies are made in 1993.
And no one can prove you wrong.
That's what I'm saying. It does say there's only 5 people in the thing now, so totally booted you out?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah,
Not-
that's me.
But if I don't get first place, this quiz system is rigged.
No run is gone. Oh, there's no run. I think that's Lori.
If I get any questions right in this, there's only one of 2 reasons why. 1, guessing. 2, because Steph has learned me up on this movie and on the history. If I'm up near the top, I'm going to give her half of my winnings.
He knows it because he's with me, and that's just how it goes.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hey.
So it's
Hello. Old guy, come back. Don't leave. The old guy's here. This one's my favorite trick question.
Is it
Yeah.
Because he specifically calls himself one of these things in the movie, but 3 of them... well, I guess technically when you think about it, by the end of the movie, all 4 of them apply.
No, I got my first question wrong, or Bruce McTutherson did.
No. Old man baby time.
I may have to contest that one.
Oh, I got something went wrong.
Oh no! Oh, it just boot. It's actually booting people out though when something goes wrong. That's interesting.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good.
I mean, it's not doing. I can see it screwing up now. Like it makes me wonder. We had this issue. Was it 2 weeks ago that it didn't finish the quiz? Like it just broke.
Ooh.
Yeah. And
I
apparently,
literally only know the answer to this one because Steph said it earlier in the show, or I would have got it wrong. No.
Oh.
I'm looking at like I'm watching the number of these. This is like the questions and the answers are totally randomized, so it doesn't matter what order I put them in. It's going to jumble them up anyway. And I keep seeing them coming up A right now, like the first box, and I'm like, is this a thing? Are we having
The island name that was definitely in the last position.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, and that's why I was like, oh man, I hope it isn't gonna just put them all because that happened once before and I didn't say anything. Yeah, so this time it's fine. But like, I was like, why are so many of them coming up A? It's supposed to be random.
I got that one right. Did not expect that. Bruce McTutherson is doing good right here.
Honestly, if Matt wins this, I give up because he's better at me than everything, and it's just kidding.
No, not just because you're also having to do the
I
thing.
feel like I've said this for a while. This quiz system is there. It's not.
I mean, like, Brian came in at a very high on that one mega quiz simply by just clicking the first question, the first box
within like a quarter of a second.
Yeah, you just had your finger over that spot, didn't you?
It's rigged.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's, like I said, this is supposed to be totally random, but look at how many are coming up A. I'm gonna have to pay. I'm gonna have to pay for a stupid subscription just so that I can get a decent quiz service, because all the free ones are garbage.
I'm not. Okay. I am not.
You can tell them to not jumble the questions, and then you can make it not be A as often.
No, I put them in at whatever order I find them. Like, I'm not putting everything in at A. I know
you're not. But
like, I'm
you
just
can
like confused.
say,
Like, it says random and it's coming up A way too often. And that happened one other time, and it made me wonder if they like fuck with the algorithm or something. I don't know.
Look at that. I have answered more right, but the algorithm says that I'm not in first place. I don't understand.
You're not in first place because you're not going as fast. That's literally all it is. It's like you're just not as fast as, you're not answering as fast as Matt and Brian.
Doing it on the computer is a lot faster than doing it on your phone too. And I learned that it's more stable if you're doing it on your computer.
Really?
Once I learned that definitely changes this.
Come on now.
That's definitely true. The stability is definitely true, and I'm not surprised to hear that it's true that it goes faster on the computer too.
It's okay. It's okay. This is all in good fun.
You pulled through in the end.
Yeah, I better have. If I didn't, I would be
in the end.
Yeah, it's 100% it's 100% because of answering fast.
Oh no, it's okay. It's all in good fun.
I wonder if I can reset that to like not to only give you points if you get it right and not give you points if you don't, because I've never really tried it, because it never really mattered until Brian figured out the.
I'm like, it shouldn't be based off of how fast you read. It should be.
Yeah.
I think
it wouldn't be if it was a regular quiz.
This is kind of meant for young kids. Like, I see a lot of the promotion that Blooket does is being like, this is a great thing for first graders.
What do you mean? You tell me all these icons are not meant for adults?
It still works though. I don't mind the icons. But yeah, I think it's just so that there's a differentiation. Like, if it's also possible to make every single answer correct. So that it just makes it so that there's a winner instead of everyone coming in with exactly 100%.
You know what? We have fun. That's all that matters. So
right.
I have done questions where every single answer is correct. I think I did that on just last week.
So let me tell you something. Okay. I was actually proud of myself because I think I found something in Jaws last night that even Steph, as the Jaws expert, did not know.
Ooh,
and we had to go back and actually do some research about it. So I asked her because I was confused. I went back and so when Brody is typing out the coroner's report, if you go to that scene, it says C-coroner, C-O-R-N-E-R. And I'm like, is the coroner named coroner, or is it misspelled? And she's like, I've not heard anybody talk about that. We went and did some research, and they said it wasn't an intentional thing from the script. It wasn't that they think that somebody in props actually misspelled it and mistyped it on there on accident, and they just were like, we're just going to leave it in the movie.
Yeah, I love that. I love learning new stuff like that. Like,
nice.
Little tips. But I love being like, wow, I learned something new.
Yeah, I was that must have been what you guys got all quiet on, because I remember you saying something about that in the chat.
No, he told me.
And I didn't hear anything of it, and I totally forgot about it. And then now you're oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I was like, it's actually kind of cool. As he typed it out, I went back and looked, and I'm like, and Steph was like something. I wonder if it was just maybe they had slang for it in '75 or something like that. I went and looked, and we did research on it last night, and that was just.
It is one thing that I don't think it's widely talked about, but it's all positives. Like, I think that's super cool. Like, I love little tidbits like that. So, in fact, I learned something else new today. In fact, so when they're having like their little town hall meeting, and this is when you first meet Quint, and he's kind of like sitting in the background, and he does the horrible like nails on the chalkboard thing. So there's a drawing. He does like little chalk drawing of the shark and the little Kittner boy in the shark's mouth.
Yeah.
If you zoom in, and I think this is probably something that's been discovered recently with high def and all that kind of stuff. But if you look and you zoom in on that chalkboard, there is, you can set, like, you know how chalkboards are. If you draw something on chalk and you erase it, it kind of doesn't go away completely.
Right.
You can see that he actually tried to draw the shark first and then erased it and then drew the shark the way that you see it. Like, you can see like the outline of like the first version of the shark that he drew. And I did not know that until today. A friend of mine sent me the video of it. I was like, I didn't know that. So I thought that was really cool. So again, I love learning new little tidbits. It's great. It's always fun. Like,
yeah, we had a lot of, what's that?
Tell me all the information. I always want to know it. I think it's great.
We had a bit of a discussion yesterday about how the guy who plays the mayor smoked very heavily throughout all his life and was seen smoking on set and in some of the scenes even. But actually, and it was Jeffrey that pointed this out. He's often holding a cigarette, but it's not smoking and it's not lit. Yeah. And he's like, that's not a real cigarette. That's not a real cigarette. And I'm like, looking at it, and there were a couple of times where I was like, that's a real cigarette. It's just packed really tight, and so it looks like an empty tube. And I had to explain to him, I was like, you didn't need to know that your girlfriend used to smoke, and that's why she knows all this shit. but I was like, yeah, this one's just a really tightly packed cigarette. But there was one point, they're out on the beach talking, and he's absolutely 100% holding a fake cigarette. It's just a plastic tube.
I love
Probably couldn't keep it lit.
Yeah, I was like, is it because there's a mist on the ocean? They were out on the beach. Like, was it a mist and it just kept getting damp? Like, if you're standing out in the rain with a lit cigarette, it's not gonna go out unless you're really careless. But it's also not gonna be fun to stand out there smoking a cigarette in the rain. So so I was like, that's interesting, and I wonder why they elected to use prop cigarettes in some of the scenes. And then just like unlit cigarettes in some of the scenes. And there was one scene which he was ironically, it was the scene where he's in the hospital after the Brody kid went into shock, and there's actual smoke just billowing up, and I was like, no, that's a real cigarette right there. That's really a cigarette, definitely. It's so funny.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was a good, not comprehensive. That didn't have everything about Jaws in it, but we had fun. It was a good chat.
I won't.
And we went 40 minutes over our time limit. So cool.
I know. Whoopsie. Sorry, everybody. Sorry.
Yes.
Par for the course.
I loved hearing how much Steph loved the movie and what she loved about it. That was fantastic.
Yeah. I know. Thank you.
Yeah, it's. I like listening to your analysis of all movies too. Like we should just have a show where Amanda and Steph talk about movies, because Amanda is really good at finding flaws, and you're really good at explaining why the flaw. Like, you're really good at explaining the good stuff, and then it could just be like, here's the good stuff, here's the stuff that could have been better, but neither one of you are disrespectful to the source material. No, we will get to that when we do Velocipaster. We'll definitely be disrespecting.
There are some perhaps that do need some disrespecting.
Yes. Oh yes, for sure. No, nothing that we've done yet to the best. I could the meanest things I had to say were about Gurren Lagann, and that wasn't even that bad. Like, I could have been mean on that. I didn't like it, but I appreciate the media. So anyway, we should go, because like I said, we're 40 minutes past.
Yeah. Sorry about
next. Yeah. They're still here, so people still here watching, so they must not be that upset about it. Which I appreciate that, just so that y'all know. I appreciate that you guys come and listen to us just go on about a movie for like a whole hour and a half or more.
Yeah.
And next
you
week...
You knew what you were getting into when you...
That's true. That's true.
Everybody knew.
At this point, this show's been going in this particular format now for 7 months, and you should have it figured out. So, next week, we are doing... it's just me.
I think it's just
It's me. Always Lori.
Lori.
Next week we're gonna talk about The Cat Returns, a fun and weird movie. We're gonna I think I'm just calling it. This year is Anime August because we've got 3 shows scheduled for August and they're all animes. So next week we're gonna do The Cat Returns, which is a Ghibli movie. Then the week after that we're doing Supernatural, the anime series, which... Did you know there was one? I did not until fairly recently, even though I'm a big fucking Supernatural nerd. There are people watching. It's Lori and 4 other people. I see you guys. I see you watching.
Karen, if it's Lori, it means Lori's on one screen, Karen is on another.
Oh, that's right, Karen.
Oh.
That's her alter ego.
Yeah. So that's 2. Lori and Karen are 2. We'll see. So it's The Cat Returns, and then Supernatural, the animated series, and then Dan. We're gonna talk about Dan, which is super fucking weird, and you should absolutely watch it.
So absurdist.
It is so weird, and yeah, like that. We talk a lot about how this stuff tends to objectify women, and Dan, whew. It does it, and somehow manages to not be offensive to me specifically. I think it is. It totally does objectify women, but somehow it's just so freaking ridiculous.
Karen turned it off when she saw
man.
Dang. Man.
Fine,
Why would drive by, Karen?
Get out of here, Karen.
I know.
Better watch out. I might go on Karen's show just to confront her about that nonsense.
Yeah, tomorrow morning, the morning brew. And if Karen, we should go and complain to Lori about Karen.
You have no taste.
I'm going to complain to Karen's manager, Lori Calcaterra.
Yeah.
Karen is terrible.
Uno reverse.
All right. So yeah, come back next week. We're going to talk about The Cat Returns. We're going to talk about these guys and stickers and oh man. Now we all gotta show up tomorrow morning and lodge our complaints.
Everybody needs to come with their crazy haircut and complain to the manager.
Yes.
That's what needs to happen.
Okay. Yes. So next week we're gonna talk about I thought we should do at least one show where we talk a little bit about my project that's going on right now. Which is why we're going to do Cat Returns. We're going to talk about...
What is your project that's going on right now? What is your project that's going on right now?
My project is Produce Cats. And it is a sticker, magnet, keychain, t-shirt campaign with adorable cats as produce.
And what if
I have a suggestion, everyone?
There?
Buy the hand-painted laser cut ones because Sarah has to paint them all by hand, which is tedious-ass work.
It is tedious, but that's why I put a limit on how many you can buy.
If you want to get under Sarah's skin, order those.
Yeah, well, if you want to draw out the production process and not get your shit until Christmas, then yes, absolutely. But, we hit goal on Friday, I believe, and we are up to almost $600, which is cool. Because the goal was only 500, so I'm pretty excited. And we revealed the first stretch goal at 750 is gonna be a mango, and I forgot his name, Alfonso the mango.
Aww.
We named him Alfonso.
I love it.
And we have 2 more stretch goals that we can unlock, and then if we actually get that far, I'm gonna have to find more cats because I've got several. I just like to poll small groups of friends and be like, which one do you think? So we gotta pick one. And that's for Kyron said that we didn't have any fruit cats, and I was like, we absolutely do. See, there's 3. Like you can tell. So nobody seemed to guess what the first stretch goal cat was, but the second two, like it's pretty obvious what they are. So just go look at it on the campaign and you'll see. And yeah, that's it. That's it. I don't have anything else to say. Do you guys have anything else to say?
See you next week for the cat returns.
Actually, isn't avocado a fruit? Technically,
They're all fruits.
So
We had to talk about that too.
Carrot's not a
Technically,
fruit.
they're all fruits.
okay, all right.
But yeah, culinary purposes, they're
I get it.
vegetables. It's technically avocado's a fruit, but you wouldn't put it in a fruit salad. So that was what we were going by. If you won't put it in a fruit salad, then it's a vegetable.
Well, not if you're not daring, you won't.
I mean,
I could do a savory fruit
You really
salad.
could, because avocado kind of goes with everything. You ever had avocado ice cream? It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I've had an avocado smoothie. It was great.
Avocado and garlic ice cream. And
Matt's facing all of this. He's loving this.
I'm a Californian. Avocado's a way of life here. So
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's where she gets all that energy to run so much.
I do. Yeah.
Lamb. That is filthy.
Okay.
That is filthy talk. That's the filthiest thing he's said all night.
He doesn't like a lot. If it's a white condiment, he won't eat it.
Yeah. I've heard.
Not a fan of salad dressing. Not a fan of.
He eats
avocados,
his
all
salad
those things.
dry. That's what he told me.
He does
Like,
eat his salad dry.
Absolutely.
So
Which
That
means you
That's-
probably don't eat a lot of salad, right?
No, he
I
eats
eat a lot of
of
salad, but the thing is, like, I will admit, when I got bacon bits on a salad, it definitely causes a lot of problems because when it's dry, it's kind of hard to get more than like 3 bacon bits on
That's why
like
you
your
put salad
spinach.
Yeah, you're just pouring them in your mouth at the end.
One time,
Exactly. You're just kind of like scraping it up with a spoon.
One time, a drop of ranch fell on his foot, and I thought that he was going to have a heart attack. He screamed. It was,
But did you have to amputate, or
I
did you-
did. I thought
No,
it
I
was
will
going
tell you
to.
this. I will tell you this. I went to Taco Bell recently, and they literally tried to poison me and kill me because I got a
My
taco
God.
and they made it a freaking supreme, and they put sour cream on there and didn't tell me. And I bit into the thing, and I was like, dude, they literally just tried to murder me right there in my house.
He told me, and I'm like, did you scream and make it a huge to do?
I literally went like this. I literally went, "Bleh, ha, ha." I literally made that sound because I was trying to like get that nastiness out of my mouth. So it didn't make that sound.
Listen, you can't eat ranch around him because if you eat it and you're in his vicinity, he might smell it and he's gonna freak out.
No.
He's gonna scream.
Okay,
So
so
Dude,
think
ranch
offhand
bacon-
Matt, you and I
about-
need to be on a food review show, clearly.
Yes,
it's a
literally
major
ranch is
problem.
nauseous.
Any condiment that's white,
And
so
ranch-
ranch, sour cream,
Yeah.
mayonnaise.
Cool Ranch
It's all
Doritos, you can get those.
Those
things
are
that can
all
get flushed on the
completely
toilet.
different things, though. Like
I don't
mayonnaise
know
and
what
sour
it is.
cream.
Doritos can get flushed on the
Okay.
toilet.
Did
Mayonnaise and sour
condiments
cream
like do
is-
something
is-
to your parents?
It's a problem.
Is this a Batman thing?
No, I just don't like it. Just don't like it, man.
Hang on, I want to go back to the salads for a second. Matt, is it because it's just every dressing you've tried tastes bad, or is it because it makes your salad moist and you don't like
Oh,
a
don't say the word
salad?
moist.
So I just do not like the taste of any salad dressing, and I'm like, why do I want to waste my good salad stuff with this? I'm just not a fan of it. Just not a fan of it. I just think it's gross. Doesn't mean I don't like ketchup. Doesn't mean I don't like, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of mayonnaise.
Did you put
or-
ketchup on your salad as a
Ew.
dressing?
I would absolutely not put ketchup on my salad, but I put ketchup on just about everything else. But I absolutely would not do that. That
Would you
just
put
doesn't even make any
salsa
damn sense.
on your salad?
Salsa?
But I
No,
put
he
what?
doesn't even put salt on it.
Oh no!
Yeah.
So let me tell you. I have got the weakest stomach when it comes to spicy stuff known to man. My brother,
Yeah.
back in the day, he introduced me to.
Totally.
He
Common story.
introduced me to picante sauce, and he was like, he gave me a little like fingertip of it, and I thought I was gonna die. And he literally went and took half a bottle of it and put it on a taco and ate it. And I'm like,
Oh, and
he got
and
the
I don't know
he got
how
the
we
stomach
are
to handle that
able to
stuff, and I didn't. So I don't even mess with
I
it.
don't know how we're ever able to eat together because I love anything spicy, and the spicier the better. And so we have to.
That's like Jeff and me. Like he'll be sitting across the table with his buffalo wings that are literally on fire, and I'm like, I can smell that. I can smell it, and it's putting me off of my garlic, my garlic
know.
Parmesan chicken. Like,
I have to go in the other room and eat it sometimes.
and I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. I watch him eat it, and he's like, literally, like he's sweating and he's crying, and he's like, "This is so good." And I'm like,
It's
"Why?
so fun.
What? How?
Ray, I definitely
Condiments
want
would take
some-
Matt's whole family.
I need to order some. I need to order some Lori's hot sauce.
Yeah, same. I'm not gonna order it for myself, though. I'm gonna order it for Jeffrey.
Oh, I will.
Because well, unless we're making chili, I'll have to talk to Lori. I'll have to talk to you about what would be a good chili hot sauce of your set.
I do make a good pot of chili.
Because I do like to throw a splash of hot sauce into chili. Yep. And it's absolutely not chili weather right now, but it will be eventually.
Well, if you're inside,
it's making me hungry.
Nice and cool, then maybe. If you don't go outside.
Yeah. Well, we should go because I bet Brian hasn't eaten supper yet, and we're very close to 2 hours now, which is something we absolutely weren't supposed to do.
What I'm eating.
Sorry, guys.
Alrighty.
But yeah, okay. Everybody have a wonderful rest of your night. Yes. Come back next week and watch Chili the Reaper. Yeah. Yeah. Well, so yeah, come back next week and watch The Cat Returns with us and talk about produce cats and The Cat Returns and stuff. And tomorrow, tune in to Lori Calcaterra's channel and watch the Tuesday Morning Brew. And I don't know what next web things you guys have coming up, but like go to the link tree, go to InSymmetry Creations link tree and just look at all their stuff and like follow all their stuff.
Yes.
Just do it. Just do it.
Thanks for having us on. We appreciate it.
Love having you.
Thank you. Always love you guys coming over and having a chat with us. So
thank you for having
us. All right. Have a good rest of your week, and we'll see y'all later. Bye.